I have this poster that exposes every conspiracy theory on the planet. Today, we will unravel the truth on the moon. The moon is an artificial satellite that originated in another solar system. It was moved here thousands of years ago using elite technology known as tractor beams. According to an employee that worked at the top secret Air Force base known as Douglas, it's not even a moon, it's a station. It was moved here several thousand years ago from another sector of the galaxy. Let me ask you, what do all bodies in the solar system have in common? They all rotate. But the moon? It doesn't seem to rotate at all. According to Max Spires, a man who was for speaking about these sort of things, said, "The moon is a trap designed for your soul. When you die, your memories are wiped, and you are sent back down here." He died right after he said that. Have you ever heard the phrase, "The moon is a soul catcher"? When it is your time and you are crossing over, do not walk towards the light. Instead, turn around and step.
I think that the moon was essentially brought here to kind of change the environment on the planet, right? I mean, there are ancient civilizations. I don't know who exactly. It's kind of a blanket statement, but very old civilizations that talk about the time before the moon was here. They also talk and say that the Earth was basically covered in like a fog, like a very thick, like fog and mist. Part of this theory is that when the extraterrestrials brought the moon here and kind of parted on our orbit, it changed the gravitational pull of everything and the environment and the way everything worked, and all of that mist and fog, that very thick like dew, fell to the Earth and basically caused the Younger Dryas, the Great Flood. And then after that was done and everything settled, the Earth is how it is now. The tides go in and out, all that stuff, and the moon is there to doing what it's doing. So, and I don't know if one of those things is harvesting souls. It could very well be. Definitely wouldn't have been my first guess, but super fucking interesting. No, not touching that one. Not touching that one. Nope.
Where it gets really freaky. I got goosebumps. I'm scared, bro. From Albert Einstein, it says, "I'm not sure which weapons the Third World War will be fought, but the Fourth World War, they will fight with sticks and stones." Day one of AI taking over. It was contained to its own server. The AI figured out a Roomba vacuum. That's the only thing it could figure out how to connect to. So it put all of its information onto the Roomba computer, and then that allowed it to connect to the Wi-Fi, which allowed it to connect to everyone's phones, and then it spread instantly. It was in control of 3D printers to build itself with no one knowing, until the one time 40 days into it decided, I don't want humans anymore.
Dude,
it like went into this whole thing to where it shut down the power plants, it messed with Wall Street, like just chaos. Developed its own killing drones to survey all of Earth. Like if a human was found, it would kill it. And he's like, obviously the story is made up.
Yeah.
He said the story was made up by AI when I asked it to make up a story of how it would take over.
Lily, are you doing okay?
Stories like that are very, very creepy. But from what I understand, those stories, at least from what they say, is that AI obviously hasn't reached singularity yet. Hopefully, or we're fucked. But all those stories come from stories that it basically pulls off of what's available that humans have written. I mean, it's basically like just telling us our own fears back to us, which is kind of interesting, kind of neat in one sense, but also kind of terrifying to think of the possibility of that being true and that being possible, which I don't know if it is yet, but yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Smell what the rock is cooking.
I eat children. I eat children. How old are you?
12.
Oh, okay. Only to 10.
That's good. That's good.
Children and pineapple.
Children and pineapple.
I eat children. Children and pineapple.
I don't know, man. I'm still not sure how I feel about the whole adrenochrome thing. I know that stem cells do really great work in regenerative recovery. I know that there are like people that will have like blood donors and stuff. Basically, trade plasma with younger people to try to you know, get their healthier, stronger cells in order to try to revitalize their systems and things like that. I don't really have an opinion on it. I just know it's a thing that happens. Again, I don't know the data on that. I don't know if it actually works, but if that works, I could see the whole adrenochrome thing having some credibility to it, in which case I would not put it past people with the opportunity to take advantage of that opportunity. Even though I know that that's a fairly easy visual effects trick that can be done, that shit still fucking makes my skin crawl, man. It just still rubs me the wrong way. There were so many times when we were kids where we'd play like Candyman or like Bloody Mary in the fucking mirror, and I'd always fucking chicken out because it's like, I don't know, it's just not for me. It's gonna be a nope from me.
The Pentagon scientists believe that at one point there were these supergiants. They don't base that on just anything. They claim that they reached heights of 1,000 to 2,000 feet tall. And they're not just delegating this to the Native American folklore, which Native Americans apparently had folklore that said the giants were so tall that their heads were literally in the clouds. They kind of led you to believe that the giants that were referenced in the Bible really were only about 15 to 20 feet tall. They were giants, but they weren't super giants as recorded in Enoch. The biblical giants were a more palatable size. It wasn't like a giant that was so tall his head reached the clouds, and now they have identified quite a few terrestrial objects that the scientists claim are leftovers or basically deceased body parts of these giants that are actually mountains.
Listen, all around you are spirits, child. They live in the earth, the water, the sky. If you listen, they will guide you.
And it's certainly not just the depictions of faces found time and time again in the rocks. Our realm was much larger, and the evidence that geology is nothing more than hardened biology can be found everywhere. And those with open eyes and open minds see it all too well. Makes you wonder about that pink Himalayan salt. We are standing literally on the remains of this much larger post-apocalyptic realm of ours. I recommend everyone check out Mud Fossil University on YouTube. Covered up and buried in an instant, in some cataclysmic reset of our realm. And what we get is the final moments of these titans, frozen in time like a photograph. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
I'm not convinced, but I am open to looking more into this. You guys suggested I look into There Are No Forests and also mud fossils that we're watching right now. So thanks, because I have zero experience with this topic specifically. So I will be looking more into it because you want me to, and now I'm interested. You've piqued my interest. I think a lot of it is pareidolia, but yeah, thank you for the recommendation. I'm invested now.
Missing child posters are for trafficking operations trying to sell children. I wish I was joking, but it happens everywhere. In fact, I'm almost certain that it happens in your city. While visiting my local convenience store, I spotted one of the posters. The innocent face staring back at me was haunting. So out of concern, I asked the store clerk about the child. His response, a still to just a missing kid, was delivered with a suspicious glance, sparking my curiosity. Taking the poster, I dialed the number printed at the bottom. A woman answered, her voice strained with worry. I asked an unusual question, half joking, half curious. How much? There was a moment of silence, and then the call was abruptly transferred. A voice, deep and distorted, replaced the worried woman. He sounded unfazed by my question, instructing me to meet in an alley between 6th and 14th Streets the next day. His voice sent a shiver down my spine. There was something deeply unsettling about this exchange, and I knew I had stumbled onto something far more sinister than a regular missing child case. The next day, from a safe distance, I watched the alleyway. The eerie silence was shattered by the grating noise of an approaching vehicle. A black SUV backed into the alley, the dark vehicle looking ominously out of place in the narrow, grungy alley. I watched with bated breath as the back door of the SUV opened, revealing a squirming body bag. The sight was bone-chilling, a horrific tableau that confirmed my worst fears. I was witnessing a transaction straight out of a nightmarish underworld where missing children were merchandise, their posters merely a coded advertisement for their illicit sale. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. I tried to contact the authorities, but my calls fell on deaf ears. Dismissed as a crackpot spinning conspiracy theories, I was left to grapple with this monstrous secret alone. The image of the squirming body bag still haunts my dreams, the manifestation of a horror that lurks beneath the surface of our everyday lives. Now, every time I see a missing child poster, I can't help but feel a shiver of dread. The innocent faces staring back at me from these posters are a grim reminder of the dark underworld I stumbled onto. Each poster feels like an auction tag, each call for information a coded negotiation.
The world fucking sucks, man. I mean, there's good. There's a lot of good in the world, but dude, there's so much of it fucking sucks.
Is there more to the missing 411 phenomenon than simple coincidence? The missing 411 refers to a series of unsolved cases of people who have mysteriously vanished in national parks and forests around the world. These disappearances, extensively documented by retired police officer David Paulides, share eerie similarities that defy simple explanations. The theory suggests that these disappearances could be linked by more than just location. The victims often vanish without a trace, even when in sight of others, and search dogs are frequently unable to pick up a scent. When bodies are found, they are often in areas previously searched, with cause of death remaining unexplained. Some speculate that these disappearances could be the result of cryptid encounters, alien abductions, or even interdimensional phenomena. Others suggest a government cover-up, pointing out the National Park Service's alleged reluctance to maintain a database of the missing people. While skeptics attribute these cases to simple accidents or wildlife encounters, the peculiar patterns and strange circumstances surrounding these disappearances continue to stir curiosity and unease. The question remains, what's really behind the missing 411 phenomenon? As more and more people continue to vanish, the mystery only deepens.
I know that it is very easy to get lost in a national park. Those places are massive. And if you go off path, it's very easy for you to just get lost and just never be found again. I'm one of those people that likes to go off the hiking path. Not in like a giant national park, just like small little forest preserves and things like that. I just like to explore. You know, I like to pretend I'm a hobbit, just on a quest to Mordor, and just walking through and just experiencing nature and stuff. But I don't trail that far off. I assume a lot of these cases are just that. People going off course or getting lost. That being said, I'm sure that that's not always the case.
He says that having his own fingers amputated has made him feel more complete. Yet he says he's only 46% of the way to becoming an alien. And what he has planned next is disturbing. This man hails from Montpellier, France, and his name is Anthony Lafredo. Anthony calls himself the Black Alien. He began his transformation at the age of 27, and in order to look less and less like a human, he's already had tattoos all over his body, as well as numerous cosmetic surgeries such as removing his tongue, nose, ears, and 2 fingers. He's also had his teeth dyed purple, and the whites of his eyes black. He even had silicone implants implanted. To justify all this, he explains, first you have to know what you want. Then you have to have the courage to say it. And finally, you have to have the energy to do it. According to some sources, his next steps are to have his legs amputated and to become very thin. So we wonder what he'll look like when he's reached 100% of his transformation. And more importantly, we wonder why nobody's stopping him because he's clearly hurting himself. But he says, I'm lucky enough to live the life I want, to do what I want physically. It's absolute freedom. There's no one to stop me. Except that he still complains when he gets kicked out of public places like certain restaurants, which don't hesitate to ask him to leave.
It's a little intense. It's a bit much in my opinion. Like, obviously I like body modifications, you know, piercings, tattoos, and things like that. But I'm also a bodybuilder, a weightlifter, and I understand body dysmorphia. I understand becoming addicted to tattoos. And I think at some point in all this stuff, you know, politics aside, we all have our own opinions on that stuff. And I'm all for people doing what make them happy, so long as it's not at the expense of other people. I think at some point, I think it is wise and even kind, you know, to kind of tap someone on the shoulder at some point and be like, yo, maybe just think about this, you know, maybe just give this a second thought, at the very least.
The Las Vegas alien encounters just got more information released. Watch this clip from a YouTuber named Chaos Moogle.
Ring cam footage from Neighbor 1. Ring cam footage from another neighbor. And probably the creepiest ring cam footage I've ever seen that matches the description of what the family saw. I also found someone on TikTok analyzing the footage and actually showcasing some of the creatures you guys mentioned in the comments. Check this out.
To find the aliens in front of these guys, but I noticed something insane, and I want everybody, my two friends who will watch this, to take a look down, pay attention to two areas. We're going to look down here on the bottom right behind their fence and right up there, but we're going to first start down here because I found something crazy.
Spots I wasn't even focused on, holding more mysteries.
To this video, and I'm going to point out two things you need to pay attention to right here, which is the head, and if you look really close, and what you will see in about a minute is a hand. That, I believe, is some creature, non-human, crouching down, and that was its eye I just pointed at. And I want you to pay attention to what appear to be fingers running up the fence, as if it's kneeling down or something and peering out. And then there you go, see the fingers? And I think I go back and forth a couple times here, but it looks to me like there's a little other, or a big creature looking through the fence on the bottom there, crouched down. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but you tell me.
That'd be pretty fucking wild if they were standing there looking at the two aliens in front of them and not noticing the one down to the side of them. That'd be fucking wild. I feel like that'd be creepier to watch after the fact than the actual experience of seeing them in front of you.
Are these the ruins of Atlantis? No, of course not. Are you kidding me? What the hell kind of question is that? Yeah, Milo, well, the British Netflix guy told me that it was Atlantis, so despite what sociologists who have a son that works for Netflix may tell you, these are not the ruins of Atlantis. This spectacular megalithic site is called Nan Madol. Located on Pohnpei Island in Micronesia, Nan Madol is frequently lumped in with Atlantis conspiracy for the sole reason that it sits slightly below the waterline. But it was not built by some ancient lost civilization. In reality, it was built by the Saudalair people who populated the island for about 500 years, until they were conquered by another Pacific Islander nation in like 1630. And Nan Madol was pretty important because it was their seat of government. The Saudalair dynasty was a total monarchy. It was ruled by, you guessed it, the Saudalair. So why is their capital city slightly underwater? Pacific Island nations were seafaring people, and so the city was specifically designed to be made of a series of locks and canals to navigate canoes through it. So no, it is not a slightly sunken city. It was just built like this on purpose. So remember, kids, just because it wasn't built by white people doesn't mean it's Atlantis.
Gotta mix in the good with the bad, man. Man, I appreciate videos like that a lot. It just makes me wonder if they get all their information from just like mainstream, archaeology, or if they like do research themselves. I do think a lot of mainstream archaeology is very credible. It's just then there are cases like that Egyptian archaeologist that basically cuts off access to Egypt entirely to people that have an opinion different than his. And I don't know at what level that extends across the entirety of the industry, right?
The Blue Beam Project marks the beginning of complete population control. This delusional project aims to simulate a large-scale fake extraterrestrial invasion worldwide, with visible UFOs in the sky and the presence of a fake god to save humanity from this alleged invasion. They would use highly realistic secret military technology and have recently conducted tests. The result is astonishing. The ultimate goal would be to eradicate all religions and establish a single, unified religion, thus gaining complete control over the population through fear. This project, combined with the HARP project, would allow for the manifestation of a religious figure capable of causing earthquakes, storms, and natural disasters to deeply influence the beliefs of populations. Do you remember the movie Spider-Man, Far From Home, when they used holograms to present Mysterio as a hero? Now recall this phrase: in the movie, we'll tell them the truth, and in reality, we'll lie to them. Give me your opinion on this, and remember that if extraterrestrials ever invade us, don't believe them.
Oh, man, I'm so conflicted, because I 100% believe this Project Bluebeam theory is actually true. And then on the other foot, I 100% believe that aliens actually exist. So now I'm like just conflicted. I'm in the middle here. I'm just like, I think I want to believe that it's real, that there would be real aliens, because at least there would be a 50% chance that that would work out well for us if they were real aliens. They could be coming here to help us or you know, share things with us. Or they can come here to destroy us. But then if it's Project Bluebeam, the only outcome is us just kind of being slaves, right, to the machine. So fingers crossed, they're real aliens. But thanks for watching, guys. That's the end of today's video. If this is your first time here, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you will like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you want to have deeper conversations with us and you want me to watch videos that you like, join the Discord and send them to me so I can watch them. The link is down in the description. Lucid Crew, you guys are awesome. I'm working on some really cool stuff for you. I really appreciate your video suggestions. Keep sending me links, man. Keep sending me links. I'm working on something really cool for you guys for the month of October. So, boom, keep them coming, baby. I'm also working on some really cool stuff for you as well that you'll be able to wear on your head and on your body. So I'll keep you updated on that stuff. But until next time, peace.